There was a time when I felt completely trapped in my own body, in my own cravings, like I was drowning in an addiction that no one talks about seriously enough. Sugar. It sounds so harmless, right? But for me, it was my escape, my joy, my comfort, my best friend, and it was quite literally destroying me. I wasn't just addicted to sugar, I was consumed by it. I felt like the cravings controlled me. This used to be me. I would go to the store, peruse the candy aisle, and pick out my favorites. And I would tell myself, just one more bite. But that bite turned into an entire bag of mini delights. I was stuck in the most frustrating cycle of guilt, shame, and self-defeat. And the worst part, no one knew that I was dying on the inside. Tell me if this is you. I see so many people, men and women, stuffing their shame, their desires, and unspeakable pain down with fast food, donuts, soda, all while sitting in their car because of the shame they feel that they may or may not be aware of. Now, I get it. We all sit in our car from time to time and eat, but I'm pretty tuned in to when I see somebody eating for sustenance and true hunger versus comfort and relief. Admittedly, I've been slender my whole life, and no one ever made me feel bad about for the insane amount of cookies, brownies, mini muffins I would consume. If anything, I was looked at with envy because what I ate seemingly didn't affect my weight. I never realized my sugar addiction was a means to stuff my emotions down, and it wasn't until I moved to Los Angeles and went on my first diet and developed a full-blown binge eating disorder. The diet led to restriction, which led to binging, and this horrible cycle ensued on and off for 4 years. I went on a 25-day carb cycling diet, and once the diet ended, I had no idea how to eat properly. I was afraid of how to maintain my weight loss. I was afraid that if I started eating carbs every day, I would instantly put the weight back on. These were questions I asked myself over and over again. I was so lonely and ashamed of the way I was eating that I really just isolated myself from others. The lead up to me finally making a change was during a time when I was going through an extremely difficult breakup. For months on end, I would go to work. I was working as a private chef at the time. And after work, I would drive to the grocery store. I would go down the aisle, I would pick out a box of Rice Chex and a bag of milk chocolate chips. I would go back to my apartment. I would close the blinds so it would be really dark. I would sit in my bedroom, no lights, just the TV, and just eat my makeshift trail mix and stuff my emotions down as far as I possibly could. It was during this time I really started to not feel well. I started exhibiting a lot of autoimmune symptoms, and there were days that I simply couldn't get off the couch, or if I did go to work, I was just on the couch the rest of the day until bedtime. Even when I was binging on this really bad for you makeshift trail mix that I created, I did so much research on YouTube on the benefits, and I looked into all different ways of how I could adopt a plant-based lifestyle that would work for me. And I quit the junk food overnight. I remember it was tax day, April 15th of 2015. I embarked on a 10-week all-fruit herbal tincture / tea detox protocol, and I lost about 1 pound a week. So I lost 10 pounds effortlessly. And the best part was I no longer craved sugar, chocolate, or sweets in the slightest. All I wanted was fruit, and it just kept me so satiated and satisfied. I am not suggesting that any of you go on an all fruit detox. I did it because I was feeling so horrible, and I was trying to make a dent in the autoimmune conditions I was suffering with. And it made me unafraid to not worry about eating carbs because probably just like you, I was brought up to believe that fruit would make me fat, and that theory was completely debunked as I lost weight. I see so many women caught in the cycle of eating low carb for months, and then they have what I call a blowback. Because they have restricted their carbs for so long, they gain weight rapidly when they do start eating carbs, processed or complex. I am not demonizing any diet, as you have to do what's best for you. But as someone who has eaten extremely low carb, strict carnivore, binge and restricted unhealthy and junk food, I can honestly say allowing myself to eat fresh, juicy, ripe fruit and complex carbs has given me so much joy and happiness. I thought sugar-laden desserts brought me comfort, but that comfort was so fleeting. True comfort and freedom comes from allowing yourself to eat whole food, nutrient-dense, colorful, antioxidant-rich, cancer-preventative foods without the fear of gaining weight. You never have to diet or restrict because you feel so satiated and fulfilled with what you're eating as long as you follow the proper guidelines. This is why I created my complimentary weight loss guide, Your Sexy Silhouette, the Empowered Woman's Guide to Plant-Based Weight Loss. I list the 7 strategies that I personally use and have used with my clients so they feel and look sensational and truly love what they're eating. I know women like you don't want just another wellness trend. You actually want to master the art of feeling energized, exquisite, and deeply feminine every single day. This isn't about restriction. This isn't about struggle. This is about stepping into the woman you were always meant to be. At some point in their life, most women do struggle with food in one way or another, and I think more than likely we're all trying to stuff our emotions at some point in our lives. So if this resonated with you, please let me know down below. I would love to hear your story. See you next time. Stay well, stay happy.